Hello and welcome to Mama Belle's home. If it is your first time visiting here, hi, my name is Cassidy. I am a homeschooling, homemaking mama to 7 kiddos, all the way from age 16 all the way down to 8 months old. And currently in this series, we are going through all of the spaces in my home and we are purging, we are decluttering, we are cleaning, we are getting rid of stuff that is sucking any time, energy, or brain space from me, because I just can't. Okay, so in the first video, I'll link it here, I explained where I was at emotionally since having my 7th son. I don't have 7 sons. Since having my 7th child, who happens to be my son, I have 3 sons, 4 daughters. Since having him, I feel like I have just not been able to get my foot on solid ground as far as keeping my home, managing my time and homeschool and all of the things. I am an ADHD mom too, so that also I know plays into it, and with the hormones and everything after postpartum. Thank you for everybody who really just loved on me and shared some insight, and that was extremely helpful. I've also been doing a lot of research because I know that this isn't my normal postpartum, and so we've looked into some things. I've talked to a doctor, which is great, and so basically I am just trying to get rid of anything that is sucking up my time, my resource, brain space, like I said. And with that, I have gone through already in that first video my future, God willing, office space. I call it my office. It is the intention of the space. However, because we are renters and it's an older home, it's really hard for me to come up with a plan of what I want to do in there, and so we just haven't. So I've gone through and I've purged and cleaned, and they have a closet, and like I said, ADHD, so out of sight, out of mind. We were just stuffing stuff in there to deal with later. And then a year of doing that, it was chaotic. We got so much stuff out of there. I'm so thankful and glad. And every time I walk through that room and I have to put my shoes away or something like that in the closet, it's just like a breath of fresh air. It's great. And then we also did my son's room. My 2-year-old and my 8-month-old boys both share a room. So I went through their room also. I took baby's clothes that he's too small for, or he's too big for, they're too small for him, and put in the older or the bigger sizes, and just went and did a little tidying and purging and getting rid of stuff that just doesn't belong in there. Honestly, is mostly what it was, and cleaned up. And so did those spaces, and my plan was to continue on upstairs. However, I have a baby shower that I get to host this weekend in a few days. And so I really need to get downstairs in order. I've already gone through in a little bit older of a video. I went through my living room and kind of purged and decluttered and cleaned up the kids' like play space. I have like all of the younger kids' toys in that space. The big kids have their toys down in the basement because that's where they play more. But went through that space, went through books, decluttered and purged out some of those. And so I've already pretty much done the living room. However, it does really need a deep clean. So those are the 2 spaces I'm going to focus on in this video, and then in the next video I will continue on upstairs, because we have like a landing space at the top of the stairs that has like a linen closet shelf area, and then like a little nook on the other side that has also been a space where stuff has just been shoved to deal with later, and I really need to go through that. So we'll continue on in the next video there, and also the kids' bathroom. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do so, and make sure you hit the bell so that when that video posts, you can be alerted and know that that one's coming. But we're gonna go ahead and head downstairs to the dining room first, because that room is the most chaotic and there's a lot that needs to like come out. Okay, it's not chaotic. I feel like I exaggerate a little bit. It is messy, and it has been like a catch space where we've put things in there. I recently have taken down the rest of our like winter decor because it wasn't necessarily Christmas, but it was still wintry. But now that we've had a couple days of sunshine, and I'm not getting my hopes up, because last year during Easter there was a good amount of snow on the ground, so I wouldn't be surprised if it still snows. However, I'm hopeful, because we've had a couple days of sun, that maybe it might not snow, and so I'd like to get the spring stuff up. So I've cleared out that space, but meanwhile it's sitting in the dining room. So let's go ahead and head downstairs. We'll get into all of that, and that's the plan.
First is I'm going to get this baby boy all situated and ready with his snackies so mommy can clean.
Okay, so we're down in the dining room now. As you can see, this is what I was talking about. We're just stacking stuff up that needs to go to the garage. I need to clean up this, and then the hutch over here is a real problem. So we have a lot to do, so let's go ahead and just get started.
I recently took down all of our winter decorations, and that's what a majority of this is, and then it just became a catch-all. So the first thing I'm going to do before getting into anything else is clearing this all away and getting it put away where it actually goes and getting rid of stuff that we don't need. So we're purging, we're cleaning, and we are decluttering. Okay, so now that I have that extra shelf that I have over there all cleaned and organized, we're going to move on to the hutch. And I am just clearing off all of the trash and things that just don't belong there, refilling our little basket with our plastic utensils and things, and just kind of, like I said, going through, purging things that we don't use any longer or aren't using right now, making room for hospitality stuff, getting school books and stuff off of there, games and whatnot, and we're just moving along. One of my very favorite cleaning hacks is using a vacuum. Instead of wiping down all the crumbs or whatever and then wiping it down clean, just vacuuming it all off, because it's going to get the crumbs, the dust, all of that kind of stuff, especially if you have like the horse hair or hair type brush on your vacuum. It'll just clean up any mess. I also do this in the bathroom, because if you've ever like tried to wipe stuff down, it has like lint like the back of the toilet, on the floor and that kind of stuff. My favorite, very, very favorite hack is using the vacuum to clean it all up before you start wiping stuff down, and then that way you don't have to deal with wet, goopy, lint, hair, crumbs, whatever. A lot of our homeschooling takes place in our dining room. It's our favorite place. Obviously, it has the huge table in there also, and that's why a ton of our books and things, pencils, all of that are on our hutch, and that's why a lot of it I had to clean off, because that's where we do this. So I'm just clearing away our winter reads that I have up there. I like to put different seasons or holidays or whatever up for our read out louds, and that's what we focus on. And I love that I have that little shelf, but I cannot do that with the baby, so I'm going to get him situated and then continue on in the dining room. I've had these picture frames sitting on our dining room shelf for like forever, because I couldn't figure out a place that I liked, and I don't know if this is going to be its place forever, but at least it's out of the dining room and on the living room walls where I want them to be. This is one of those boxes that is like an ADHD nightmare, because it is a lot of stuff, a lot of little things that don't have a place, need a place, or kind of like you have to figure out a place for it. I don't know. So I had to really brain through this, but that's okay. This is why I'm doing this, is to make sure that I am giving space and giving time and focus to things that actually matter and I need to have around. And a lot of this was just like extra arts and crafts type stuff from parties or Christmas or baby showers. And so I kind of like divvied it up into where it needs to go in these bags. And then the craft stuff just went in the craft box. There was some melting chocolates that need to go down in the pantry. And yeah, it wasn't actually that bad. It was just having to really sit through and take the time to think it out and figure out what I was going to do with it. Okay, now that I got everything off of the table, cleared off and put away, it's time to clean the table. And I'm going to put on a tablecloth that I went and purchased at Walmart. Because our table is square, which is a unique shape for dining room tables, it is not easy to find a tablecloth that will fit this because we do have the leaf in there, so it makes it a little bigger than most tablecloths will fit. And so I went to Walmart and I got the tablecloth off the rolls. I don't know if you guys have seen that in the craft and like material section, and I just got 2 of them the same size so that way I could overlap them like this. And I went with a nice light, airy spring kind of design. What do you guys think? Do you guys use these plastic tablecloths? Are you just like a bare table person, or do you use linen? I like the plastic ones for everyday use because it's nice and easy to clean off, especially for the kids when they're wiping down the table. And I feel like things get stuck on a lot less. It's not as hard to clean the tablecloth versus the table. But I really love the way the linen looks, but I only use those on like special dinner days like Saturday or when we have guests over. What do you guys think? What do you do? Let me know. I love the springtime and the fact that you can open windows when you're cleaning. It's one of the most like refreshing, fresh type things. I love it. I'm so excited for spring. What is your favorite season? What is your favorite time of year? I think that spring is my absolute favorite. I love the freshness. I love that flowers are popping up. It's just so beautiful and new and exciting. So here is my girls' art gallery wall that they created for St. Patrick's Day and the dreaded takedown. All of the questions of why we're taking it down, but it's okay. I'm sure they will create new stuff in just a matter of time. And these are the spring books that I chose for our Read Out Loud selection for homeschool. I love having these shelves and being able to display the books. It makes it so fun. And this is what the shelf looks like, that I have my like breads and Instapots and just little extras that I can't fit in the kitchen. It's all cleaned up. And my hutch, also all cleaned up, clutter free. Purged all the stuff that wasn't supposed to be on there and wiped it all down, and it looks great. And then our big huge calendar that I love so much.
Okay, I may have busted a sweat, but it is done. Oops. The shelf behind me, cleaned off the board and got that kind of filled out for the month. The table's cleaned off, windows cleaned, hutch is cleaned. So we have gone through and gotten everything in here cleaned up, and then and the books. And I got all of our springtime books up and no more winter ones. So this room is done, and now it's time to move on to the living room, which is a huge mess. So let's go ahead and head in there.
Unfortunately, my battery died before I ended up finishing this living room, and I'm going to be honest, I think this was a 2-day thing, because as you can see, I have a napping baby on the couch, and kids, and just all of the things. So, I appreciate you watching. Thank you for being here. If you enjoy watching purging, cleaning, and decluttering videos, would you mind giving this video a like? And I hope that I will see you guys in the next one. If you're interested and not subscribed in seeing the rest of this series, then make sure that you go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell so that you are notified anytime I release a new video, and that way you will not miss one of the videos in this purging, cleaning, and decluttering series. Again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!